Hello, everyone. Welcome to Morning English. This is Colin.
Hello, everybody. This is Cecilia. 欢迎大家收听早安英文。
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
Hey Colin, do you read much?
Yeah, of course.
I mean novels, 我是说小说哈。
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. You know, when we say, do you read, we really mean novels. Everybody I know can read, so of course they read articles and news stories on the internet, their phones, you know. But that's really different than reading a novel.
So, how often do you read?
Every day. I usually read part of a novel every night, and I usually have 2 or 3 novels on the go at any one time.
Reading 2 or 3 at the same time? Really?
Well, you know, not exactly at the same time. On the go means in the process of. So in this context, maybe I'll read some, maybe 1 or 2 chapters of one novel and then change books. Maybe read a few chapters of a different book. So it means I'm reading 2 books on the go.
所以这个 on the go 和 at the same time 意思还是有一点区别的。那 on the go 表示的呢是正在进行中，所以说我手头有几本书正在进行中，不是说我长了6只眼睛在同时看哈，而是说呢在同一时间段内，我这本书先看几章，再换到另一本书去看几章。那这个书本的章节呢，我们叫做 chapter。But doesn't that get confusing? 2 completely different stories and characters?
No, look, it's like watching 2 TV show episodes in one day. There's no problem.
Oh, I see. Why don't we talk about books today?
Sure, sounds good.
So, what's your favorite novel?
That's a difficult question to answer. There's so many great novels. But if I had to choose just one, it would be The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. It's a historical adventure novel.
Le Comte de Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
Love it. It's a really classical novel.
Yeah, it is. And in the West, everybody knows the novel, even if they haven't read it.
其实在中国也一样哈，世界名著《基督山伯爵》啊，19世纪法国文豪大仲马的巨作。
Yeah, it was written in 1844, I think.
I've only read the French version though. And I guess it must be difficult for me to read novels in English that are so old, Some of the vocabulary and the style of writing is quite different to modern English.
Yep, that's true. Even native speakers have this trouble. After all, it's not an English book, right? It was originally written in French. So it's good that you have chosen the French version.
So did you read it in French?
No, I could, but I've only read it in English. But because it's a very famous book, the translation is excellent.
Now, you said it was an historical novel. Does that mean the story was true?
No. Saying it's a historical novel is like saying it's a period piece in a movie. It just means that it takes place in the past from when it was written. But it's still a fiction book.
Fiction are stories not based on real people or facts. 那 fiction 呢，就是指这种虚构小说，情节纯属虚构，如有雷同，纯属巧合的那种。
That's right. Non-fiction are books about real things. For example, a school textbook is a non-fiction book. Or books written about a famous person from history are usually non-fiction.
Right. 那与虚构小说相对的呢，就是我们的纪实小说了，叫做 non-fiction。像我们的教科书啊，或者说这些名人传记啊，这些内容呢，一般都是纪实的。So the Harry Potter books are fiction.
Sure, but it doesn't have to be about magic or anything like that. Just a story about regular people doing regular things is fiction if the people are not real.
Right. When we say novels, we usually mean fiction books, right?
Yeah. If it's a non-fiction novel, we will always say. Although there's another way to say it, especially about crime novels.
Oh yeah, true crime.
Right. So, Cecilia, you are young. I find that young people don't read novels as much anymore.
Yeah, that's true. There are so many other distractions. Most young people spend a lot of time on social network sites like Weixin or QQ, and also video sites like Bilibili and Douyin.
But you still read, right? What's your favorite novel?
It's hard to pick one. Can I say Harry Potter?
Of course you would like Harry Potter. You're always so dreamy.
其实为什么说哈利波特呢？虽然长大了之后也读过很多这个优秀的小说，其中也不乏一些这个所谓的严肃文学，那可能会更加的深刻，也能给我更多的养分。但是总觉得小时候啊，看哈利波特那个废寝忘食、手不释卷的状态，后来就很难再有了。
So do you use an e-reader or do you like to have a real book in your hand?
E-reader 呢，就是我们现在常用的这种电子书、电子阅读器。Actually, nowadays I just use my phone. What about you?
Well, I have an e-reader, but I like paperbacks the most. Paperbacks are the smaller books with a soft cover. And we call the bigger books with a hardcover a hardcover. Usually a book first comes out as a hardcover and then later is also published as a paperback.
爱看书的朋友们应该都知道哈，这个书本它有平装本和精装本之分。那精装本呢，一般都是那种硬皮封面的，所以叫做 hardcover。那平装本呢，就叫做 paperbacks。You know, I had several textbooks in school that were not hardcover but were still very big.
Yeah, we would call them softcover textbooks. There's not many times you see a softcover novel. It's mostly like textbooks.
What about picture books?
Oh, yeah. They're usually called coffee table books.
咖啡桌图书啊，就是这种供咖啡茶几上摆设用的书，主要呢供人浏览，开本大，插图丰富，而且比较昂贵啊。So there are books that you leave on the table in front of your sofa for people to look at.
Yeah. But if they're comic books, that are a little like hardcovers, we call those graphic novels. Graphic is a word used related to drawing or printing.
这个 graphic 呢，它本身是表示绘画的。那 graphic book 就是指这种漫画小说、连环画小说。So I guess you have read all the Harry Potter books too. Many Chinese people love those books.
You guessed wrong. I haven't read any of them.
Really? It seems like everyone has.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people grew up with them and started reading them when they were very young. For me, I was 30 when the first book came out. Why would I want to read a children's book?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that you are so old you used to have a pet dinosaur. But what about the movies? You must have seen them, so you know the story, right?
Well,
You've never seen the movies.
Yeah. I just don't like stories about magic. So I don't read or watch stories like that.
But I know you watched some of the TV show Game of Thrones.
权力的游戏. Yeah. I read a few of those books and watched some of it, but if you remember, the first few years, that story was about politics, the North and the South, and who was king, and after the dragons showed up, I just lost interest in the TV show and the books.
You're strange.
Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
没得聊了是吧？
Welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
So thanks very much for listening, everyone. This is Colin.
This is Cecilia. See you next time.
Bye.